So basically, I've been hearing about this new Pokemon deck that has some good cards, not just in value, but for in game in general. Hence the name Trading Card Game. But the problem though is that these have been the latest target for scalpers. Because literally, they wait until restock day as they literally memorize everything to exactly what specific store will restock and how much they'll restock. So they get their dough ready and they go ahead and buy the entire inventory without leaving a single ounce left for a child to play. Like, come on, it's a kid's game. You're not even gonna let one kid have a card deck. What's worse is they put this on eBay for over triple the price. Now, Team Rocket Box isn't too far away because that one's even worse. It's already going for $1,000 right now for market value, according to TCG Player. But I did manage to find one of these decks, but I had to cough out literally $100 just for it, which I'm not gonna do. And besides, just because you're paying expensive for a deck doesn't mean you're gonna get good cards. Like, I'm not gonna blow $100 just to get like less than $5 worth of cards. Also, most of those cards I'll probably end up having anyway. Because look at my Pokemon Go box. I'm literally almost done with that, and I'm missing like a few V's in there and some Radiance. But for the boxes I did manage to find, and out of all the places I found, it was at one of the few places no one really visits anymore around here. So I ended up blowing around like $80 in the store and walked out with free boxes. One of them I gave to my sister. But the one box I'm going to be opening today is this special calendar box. And guess what? Compared to like prices now, the $50 they had on that price tag was pretty generous. But it's not really worth a lot because I saw a bunch of these at GameStop back when I was working there around the holiday season. But but let's go ahead and see what we can get. Since this is going to be more of like a review rather than just unpacking, I'm gonna go ahead and rank this by three components: one, packaging; two, the contents inside. Now here we have the packaging. Few things to remember when looking at this is that this is a child's game. We have to basically put ourselves in the perspective of a child's mind on if this will catch a child's attention and if they'll ask their parents to buy it. At first glance, we get some cool artwork, like always, and that includes says 8 promos, 2 coins, 2 stickers, a dangler or keychain, 5 normal boosters, seven regular boosters. On the other side, it just says how holiday calendars. On the bottom, it basically says 25 days of Pokemon TCG surprises. Basically, a reference to 25 days till Christmas. Out. This is basically a 2023 version, so we're gonna be getting a lot of old cards. Basically, on the bottom, it also states that each normal pack has 10 cards, or one basic energy, and then obviously there's gonna be a code card in every one of those. And then we're basically given the rule about how to play the TCG game. On the back of the box, we're basically given holiday calendar includes. Basically, to summarize the front, if you couldn't read it, basically 8 foil cards, those shiny looking cards, five normal booster packs, 7 smaller packs, 2 coins, 2 stickers, one keychain, and then it claims find a code card for the TCG Live, basically the online play. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing open. One other thing I'm also going to include is basically value of each cards if you're only just collecting them based on profits, and market price information was found on TCG Player. Before opening the merchandise, we have to first look at how the container was sealed. Basically, if someone could tamper with this before purchase. On the ends, where you're supposed to open it, they are glued nicely. For me personally, I'd rather have a plastic wrapping around it, but this one is okay as it's hard to tamper with. Inside, we are greeted with a cardboard box with brittle sections that you're supposed to open. Inside each section is a prize. Now, now the label didn't specify where what is located, so this makes it more of a surprise for you rather than a regular booster. The problem with the Brill sections is that they are very thin. When I opened mine, parts of one section were basically torn, but not to the point where it could be tampered with. But hey, don't forget, it's a kid's game, and it's gotta be easy enough for a kid to open it without needing adult assistance. Now let's go ahead and open up this beauty. Time to. Now the first card we got was a Glaceon V. Now I don't really pay attention to what decks they are until I go and organize them, but looks like a pretty good card. But still, I was struggling to get that card out, and that was just the first one. Just imagine what the other 24 days will look like. On the second day, we got Paldea Evolved Booster Pack. Now, booster packs typically include 10 cards along with a code card for the TCG Live. Before it was called something else until they changed it. But we still got 23 days to go, so hang tight. On the third day, we got a Pikachu and Glaceon keychain. It's one of those like rubber keychains. I don't really know the name, but it's the ones that can bend and not really break. The more flexible ones. It's not a metal one, but hey, something that kid can put on their backpack when they're heading to school. Now, time for the next day. On the fourth day, we got a Stantler card. It's the one that looks like a deer. Now, looking at it first glance, it's not really anything too special, but until I decided to look on the bottom right of the image, and that's why I noticed like a special snowflake image. That's why I decided to look back at the Glaceon one too, and I noticed there was one under two. That pretty much signifies that you got this card from a special kind of box, not just a ordinary booster pack. So that's pretty special. On the fifth day, we got a Fusion Strike pack. Now, this one's a Sword and Shield one, so we got some old packs in here. The Paldea Evolved is probably like the most recent one we got so far. So let's see what other ones we can find. On the sixth day, we got a Paldea Evolved Fun Pack. Now, there's only like 3 cards in here. But, hey, once again, it's a kid's game, can't really complain. But if it's only going to include 3, I might as well just keep it like that. On the 7th day, we got another fun pack, this time with different Paldea Pokemon on it. Last one had starters, this one had just common ones. Time to see what the next day offers. Now for the 8th day, we got a Glastrier card. Now this Pokemon I don't think I even have in Scarlet or Violet, the video games. But TCG, I don't think I have this one either. Yeah, pretty interesting. On the 9th day, we received a basic Scarlet and Violet booster pack. Nothing special. On the 10th day, we received a Snow coin. Now, coins are very common in TCG, but this is one of those like bigger coins, not the smaller ones. So that's all right. On the 11th day, we received some stickers. And during that process, one of the bits of cardboard fell out, and I had trouble getting it out. So that's why it took so long. And that was like the longest one yet. On the 12th day, we received a Pikachu card. How ironic. Yeah, but this Pikachu card looks pretty dangerous because according to it, it says if one of your Dedenne used Dene shot during your last turn, this attack does 180 more damage. Okay, now why so specific? And plus, what specific Dedenne card you gotta have that'll have that move? Plus, most of these cards only have like one move anyway, so how is that even fair? But anyway, we completed half of the calendar so far. Time to start on the other half now. So I guess that makes it a home stretch now. On the 13th day, we received a Fusion Strike Booster Pack. Another old one. On the 14th, we receive another fun pack. On the 15th, this time we get a Fusion Strikes fun pack. Okay, so it's gonna be more than just basic Scarlet and Violet that we'll get a fun pack from. On the 16th, we receive a cryo cryogonal promo pack, or not pack, just a card. On the 17th, we receive a Scarlet and Violet fun pack. On the 18th day, we receive a Alolan Form Vulpix coin. So that pretty much gives us both coins like the box said. On the 19th, we receive another Fusion Strike fun pack. The 20th day gives us a Snom. It's that little bug Pokemon that becomes a moth. Not not Venonat, another one. Now for the last 5 days. Let's see what we can get. The 21st day gives us a Paldea Evolve Fun Pack, another Scarlet and Violet one. Now, 22nd gives us a Alolan Vulpix V. This one's a unique one as it has a weird attack that requires a certain special energy. But it's more TCG gaming talk. Let's go on to the last 3 days. The 23rd day, we received some different stickers. Now, the 24th day, we receive a Glaceon VMAX. That means the final day is probably going to be that promo card or the TCG Live card that I was talking about earlier. The final day, we receive a booster pack. So, at least we got 25 items out of there. And you know, I'm kind of actually glad we got a booster instead of just a TCG live card. Because, like, not everyone plays the computer game instead of the physical card game. But let's go ahead and start adding up stuff. Now, at the beginning, I said I was going to label it based on 3 things. That was an error. It was basically 2. First thing we're going to be doing is packaging, which is being ranked at 3. First is design. Now, like I said before, this is a children's game, so we have to see if this will catch the child's attention. Now we got the label art on the front, which looks promising enough. The bottom basically gives you some text that will hype the child up to see what they can get, and then one of the sides basically explains like what the contents include. So yeah, this gets a 5 out of 5. It does a job good enough. Next is content label. Does it basically tell you like what you're getting inside? And yes, it does. Because you don't want to be opening a packaging without knowing what's inside. Otherwise, it will be qualified as a mystery gift. If it's something professional like a computer, you will want to know if it at least comes with an AC adapter. Because if it doesn't, then what's the point of even buying the computer if you're not going to know what AC adapter or charger it's going to have? So as for content label, we do see it, so it's a yes, basically 1 out of 1. Now, does it give detail? Yeah, five out of 5. But we're gonna have to see in the second part re- if it's really true or not. Now, next for the anti-tampering. Now, the sides are glued nicely, making it hard for someone to tamper with it. Problem though is it can easily be resealable to trick you into thinking that it's still brand new. So because of that, it's going 4 out of 5. Like I said before, if it had a plastic casing around it, it would have been better because it would have been a lot harder to tell if it's been tampered with. Now for part 2, the contents. Basically for the contents, remember what I said earlier about the label? Well, here's where it comes in. Did did the content label include everything inside? The answer, yes. I basically counted it with I basically counted everything and I got exactly that. So yeah, 5 out of 5. Now for 2, access. Can a child access the contents without needing adult supervision or assistance? And the answer, no. Since the edges are nice and brittle, a child can easily poke through and gather all their belongings. And if they can't do that, they can just always rip open the box. So yeah, 5 out of 5. Now next condition. Basically where the cards basically rough, tampered with, had dust or dirt on it. Answer, no. The packs were nice and clean, wrapped nicely, and it looks like it can easily be resellable if you please. So yeah, so 5 out of 5. So in reality, it's like 4.8 or 9 out of 5. So yeah, very very high. This is something I would recommend if you want if you want to buy it, and there's plenty of these around, so you can still find one anywhere. Now, before I end the video, just wanted to basically tell you why this video took so long. Probably one of the biggest reasons, though, is because that since I have a job now, I'm putting more focus on that rather than all these videos now. Yeah, so hey, these videos alone ain't gonna make any money. Like, you gotta be doing something. And also, the other thing was having to record everything. And basically, for the cards, having to get all the market value stuff was hard since card prices keep changing every day. Because I can't just do like the first half on one day, then the next day some of the cards jump. So I had to do it all in one day, which is basically pretty hard. But thankfully, I made a cheat sheet so that way I can just go straight to the website without having to manually type it in. And also, it has to be a specific card because these ones have special labels on them than what their normal counterparts have. And because of these special labels, it influences their price. Like one of the Glaceon cards, for example, one of them was going for over $50, and that was with a certain label. Because without that certain label, it was only like worth around like less than $10, I would say. But still, thank you all for watching. We we appreciate your patience with the video, and we hope to see you guys next time. See you soon.